right now, we're welcoming heavyweight professional Rakim the Boogeyman Cleveland to the Fight Report, fighting in the main event of CFFC 96 against Cage Fury UFC heavyweight champion Jamel Jones. Make sure to check it out this Saturday, May 29th, UFC Fight Pass, and recently won TKO against Scott Hough at second round at Northern Iowa Fights last month, and also got to see him compete in the first two seasons of the Professional Fighters League. We appreciate you definitely being on the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
So my question is, how is the talk about the fight? You know, during the pandemic, how grateful you were to get this opportunity to fight, starting March 27th at Cage Aggression in the main event.
Man, having the opportunity to get back in the cage it's been a blessing, really. 2019, not 2019, but 2020. I had a couple things lined up as far as kickboxing, but that fell through because of the COVID. So I spent the entire year pretty much inactive, which turned out to be a good thing for me. You know, as you know, fighting is a rough sport, and it gave me an opportunity to have a year off, let all my little small nagging injuries and bumps and bruises from, you know, all the training and fighting kind of heal up, and now 2021 I started off hot, and I continue on to improve and get my flow back of things, and I plan on that being the same story here Friday on the 28th.
So you feel like the time off, although you know it was longer than you needed, was beneficial to you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, every athlete needs time. Whether we want to admit it or not. So kind of being forced to have that time, you know, turned out to be maybe a good thing for me. I had the opportunity to kind of refine the want and the hunger to compete and earn my way back to one of the top leagues, whether, you know, whoever it is.
Definitely. And you know, talk about also fighting in front of your hometown in Iowa, how much that meant personally for you.
It felt good. And like you said, I've been in PFL the last 2 years, and just been able to step out in front of, you know, family and friends again, since it's been so long. It was a good feeling. And not only once but twice, pretty much back to back. You know, March and then April. So that was good. It was a good way to get back in the cage and get back on the right track and do it in front of everyone who knows me and everyone who supports me.
Definitely. Sounds like you are very grateful for that opportunity and your last victory over Scott Hough. How did you feel about that performance, getting the knockout? Do you feel like those, you know, people like not only Cage Aggression, you know, who would put you in that spot to get there were proud of you, but also the personnel, you know, who's ever looking at you from Cage Fury FC, they saw that as well and gave you the opportunity to fight for them and fight for the
Right.
belt.
No, yeah. I'm grateful for Scott, you know, taking the fight. Now, I mean, even with me trying to move up to heavyweight, there hasn't been a lot of takers, you know, who are willing to step in there. Scott's a veteran of the game. I'm a veteran of the game. He was a big, strong guy who, you know, gave me an opportunity to really get a feel of what heavyweight's truly about again. So me getting the win in the way I got the win was good. It was a good boost for me, and to let people know also that I'm here to take care of business.
How was that for you when you initially took that jump up to heavyweight from the 205?
It was something that I was kind of pondering on. I talked to Cepho about it between season 1 and 2 about me possibly competing as a heavyweight for season 2. I don't think he liked the idea of me jumping up, but it was something that me and Dean Thomas and King Mo and all those guys talked about, and I guess I finally decided to make the move and make my return to heavyweight. You know, most people don't realize that I started off at heavyweight before I dropped down. Um, so um, I've been there, and it was just a good way to make my return.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely made an impact with that. And also, talk about this fight. CFFC is a televised promotion, UFC Fight Pass, the exposure of being in the main event, and how you think you're going to handle that.
It's a big fight. It's one of the biggest regional promotions, you know, in the country. So having an opportunity to step up, never even having a chance to fight for them in the past, but being recognized enough to step up and challenge for a shot at their titles, it's big. It shows that um, my name does still ring bells. As far as competing, man, that's another day in the office. This is, you know, I'm almost close to 40 fights now as a pro. So it's another day at the office. I got a tough opponent who's hungry as well, and who has um, jumped up to the heavyweight division. Was light heavyweight himself, so it's gonna be, you know, explosive. That's the only way I can explain it. It's gonna be explosive.
Definitely. And, talk also about that this is the Memorial Day weekend. So, how important is this for you with not many options for the televised MMA, performing for what might be a bigger audience viewing than usual?
Yeah, you know, we want all the eyes we can on this fight. You know, we want all the big promotions that are not busy tuning in, all the matchmakers. Um, there's going to be some good talent on display, but this main event is going to be huge, and I can't wait to do what I do and claim that belt.
For sure. And talk about Jamel Jones. He's a really tough guy. You've got to see him, perform before. Obviously, the main event spotlight will be on both of you, but how do you feel about this matchup?
I think it's a good matchup. You know, most people think it's classic striker versus grappler, but I'm a veteran. I'm a mixed martial artist. People think, oh, he's gonna take me down. He's gonna keep me there. I don't see it happening that way. I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised to see what I've been working on, what I've been doing, and what I've already been capable of. But I kind of didn't really show um, when I was, you know, in the big league, um, which made me hungry. Made me hungry to prove that not only can I get there, but I can stay. I deserve to be there, and I can compete with those guys at that level. So um, right now, I look forward to the matchup, but he's just another person in my way, and that's not a good thing for him.
And talk about your role with the Dream Sports Management.
Yeah. So um, Dream, Dream, or sports management, Joey and Peter, um, they started off managing me, and I wanted to get a little bit more hands on with the business side of things. With me being a veteran and with me being um, as knowledgeable as I am, and we kind of all sat down and talked about it, and it was just a good fit, a good timing and a good fit. I am, you know, a pretty much scout, talent development, however you want to name it. But I reach out and I talk to guys, and if guys have any questions for me, um, I help them out as best I can because I've been there, I've done that, still doing it, still going through it, and I can talk to them on a level that a bunch of guys that just wear suits won't understand.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of how I put it. When it comes down to it, you don't want a guy that wears a suit for a living tell you what you can do and what you can't do. You want somebody that's been there and been in the trenches in there with you. So it's a little easier for me to talk to some of those guys that um, are leery of the business side of things, and I can just bring stuff to light for them. So that's kind of what I want to do, and I want to pass as much knowledge as I can onto the younger up and coming fighters.
Definitely, it makes a lot of sense, man. And also talk about who's helped you prepare for this fight. You mentioned some names earlier. I think are legends and Dean Thomas, King Mo. Great personalities, especially Dean Thomas has been doing it after post-fight game. But yeah, talk about who's helped you succeed throughout this training camp.
Um, well, mostly I do this training camp up here in Iowa for this fight.
Mhm.
Um, I got a close knit group of guys that we train. Very small group of guys, but we get good work in. My boxing coach Lewis Reeves, um, my grappling coach Chad Vance, Mike Estes, and then I got guys like Peter Keepers, Austin Peters, um, or bodies that give me different looks, different speeds, different stylistic looks, where I can see a little bit of everything when it comes to training. When I train, I don't train for one particular style or one particular person. I train for everything.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's how you should train. You shouldn't just look your opponent up, see what he's good at, see what he's bad at, and just train for that person. You want to train to be prepared for anything and everything. So that's how I approach this training camp, and that's how I'm going to approach everything else from now on. But but yeah, I feel like um, me going out and doing my part and proving my part is beneficial to everybody who helps me out. Um, the better I do and the more spotlight I put on me is also going to bring the people that help me to light.
Mhm.
And it's an individual sport, but it's also a team sport in that aspect because um, if you look at all the big gyms out there and they have people starting to shine and shine through, the people around them get lifted up too.
Sure.
And that's huge for me because I got a lot of young guys that I work with and I help that are going to be really good,
Mhm.
and it's only going to be a matter of time before you start hearing their names ring out too.
Nice. And what can we expect in this fight? How do you feel like you're going to get everyone on their feet?
Man, I don't know. I can't just call how it's going to happen,
Mhm.
but I do expect a lot of violence, a lot of violence. You got two hungry guys trying to make a statement, and I'm not going to hold anything back. I got to go out there. I have to get it done. He feels the same way, and I don't think the judges would be needed for this fight.
And my question also, I want to get your opinion on the upcoming fight, UFC 263 out of Sanya Vittori. Who do you have winning that one?
Oh man, I think Adesanya makes an example.
Mhm.
He just took a loss against Jan. Jan's a big guy. People don't understand how big Jan really is. Which I didn't agree with the matchup anyway. Stylebender has a great style for what he does, but he has everyone has that limit. Um, and when you step up past the middleweight and you go up to light heavyweight and above, you fighting grown men, man. Um, you weigh in at 205, but you're much bigger the next day.
Right.
Um, People don't realize that, and then the power difference and everything else has a lot to play. So I think Stylebender will come out and put an example on Vittori. Vittori's been on the streak though. He's been doing his thing. He evolved from just walking forth and using his face to block to being more strategic. But I think I think Adesanya's gonna put it on him.
Definitely. But I mean, you did have some good points. And I mean, but also we saw Anderson Silva. He was able to go up to 205 and finish guys and jump back down a little way.
Yeah, but the spider's a spider, man.
Yeah.
Their styles are different in different ways. Anderson Silva was more elusive than Adesanya. I feel like as far as the movement, the head movement, and just how he does things. And on top of that, he took the right fights.
Sure.
You know, he took the right fights at 205 stylistically. You can't just jump up and fight somebody just because you think you can beat your chest. You got to take the right fights.
Well, I appreciate you being on the Fight Report. If there's anyone you'd like to thank, go ahead.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I want to thank all my teammates and my coaches who helped me get ready for this fight. Without their help and support, you know, it wouldn't be possible. You know, it takes a team to get ready, even though it's just me in there fighting. And I also got to give a shout out to all my supporting cast as far as sponsors. Turp House Forms, the Holistic Cloud, Fighter Wife Jess Designs, who designs all my gear. Y'all check her out at Fighter Wife Jess Designs on Instagram, man. She makes good stuff, and it's all handmade and made to order. Dakota Fight Gear, they take care of me. They keep me fitted out with all the training stuff I need. Just everybody, Menus and More, they support me financially and help me get done with a lot of stuff. And if there's anybody out there that I'm forgetting, you know, I'm sorry, but I just want to thank, you know, my fans and everybody also for standing behind me for all those years. And we're gonna bring home that strap this week, baby.
All right. I appreciate you being on the Fight Report. Best of luck to you, Rakim. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for being on the show.